is live. Get ready for your next big game. Let Ralph's help make game time a little easier. Place your order today for ready-made party platters at your neighborhood Ralph's Deli or at ralphs.com/order online. USC football, spring football is into action. They've had a week. Now they get a little week off for spring break. All the students leave, but thankfully, T. Martin is able to call in for us, and the new offensive coordinator. Coach, I don't know where you are right now. Are you somewhere tropical on your spring break? Can you see an ocean from where you're calling us?
No, I just went north a little bit. Just me and my wife were in Santa Barbara for a day.
Oh, that's all right. That's not too bad. Wine country up there. That's pretty.
Yeah. Hanging out.
First things first, Coach. Congratulations. I heard you made the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. So your hometown recognizes you, and that must be some honor for you.
Yeah, it was really, really huge and quite a surprise for me. You never expect anything like that. And all I wanted to do is work hard and try to do the best I could to represent where I'm from. And they thought enough of me to induct me into the Hall of Fame, and I'm extremely honored and quite shocked right now, and just happy to be a part of such a great company.
Well, T, of course, it's your first year as the offensive coordinator for USC. And I know the offense is already in place. I mean, it's not, there's not going to be a world of change. But is there anything from your personal touch that you want to add to this offense, from a big picture standpoint, to get it where you want it to be?
Well, I think the best thing that we did was when Coach Helton took over, and he took his time putting our staff together. He took in mind what he wanted his offense and defense to look like, and we're going to mirror that. His message has been very clear that we want to be physical. We want to run the football, stop the run, and make explosive plays on the perimeter. And that's what we want to do. If you look at the last half of the season from last season, how we looked on offense, that's who he is, and that's what we want to be. And, we're excited about where we are right now. We really started all over from scratch. We actually went back and looked at what we did great and the things that it didn't do so good at, and how to improve certain things and how to build on the things that we did a good job of. And when you're coming in with two inexperienced quarterbacks who are competing to be the starter, you can't do so much to where you don't give those guys an opportunity to show what they have. So you got to keep that in mind as well. But when you return as many veteran receivers and tight ends and offensive linemen and running backs that we return, you also got to help them with getting the ball into the hands of explosive weapons like what we have. So we started all over and put something together that we're proud of. And with 3 practices under our belt, I feel good about where we are. Still have a long ways to go, but I like the direction we're heading towards.
Well, Coach, you mentioned we're talking to T. Martin, USC's offensive coordinator. You mentioned sort of the big headline story of spring football is who will be the next USC quarterback. Sort of the primary candidates are Max Brown and Sam Darnold, Jalen Green, Matt Fink also in that mix. How involved will you be in picking the starting quarterback? I mean, obviously Clay is going to have the last say, and what have you seen from the candidates so far?
Right, they all have different styles. They all do certain things really well, and it is good for us. With having a Max Brown and having a Sam and Jalen, and then Matt Fink is there as a mid-year enrollee as well. They're all different, and they all bring something to the table that's different, which is pretty cool to have. And so, like you said, Coach Helton will make the ultimate decision, but it's my job and Coach Tyson Helton's job to get them all the reps to show us what they can do. And at the end of the day, what's best for our offense, we'll make that decision and move forward.
And Clay, this year a little bit different dynamic, obviously. Cody Kessler gone, and now you have a couple quarterbacks that are very good runners with the football. How much does that sort of factor into maybe even additional plays on offense or additional packages for these guys to sort of exploit their skills?
Right. We have to run what we run, and it is good to have the ability to run. And we see how in college football that's a factor that defenses don't like to see, and it's hard to stop. But it's also hard to stop a quarterback that's accurate, that makes great decisions, and take care of the football. So I like having both. And when we make that decision of who the quarterback's going to be, we're going to build around his strengths, and we're going to build around his leadership. And then go. And so if there's a situation where one is was a drop back passer and the other ones run. Obviously, we'll have more quarterback runs when the guys that can run with the ball. We'll call those plays a little more. Not saying that we won't call them with the drop back, and Max Brown being the quarterback. I think Max is a little more athletic than people may give him credit for. Yes, he's known. He's 6'5" and he's a pocket type passer, but he can move a little better than people may give him credit.
You mentioned Tyson Helton, one of the new coaches on this staff. There's also some old new coaches, guys you've worked with before, like Tommy Robinson, John Baxter. What's the dynamic of this staff? I mean, first you guys have to come together and gel, and what's it been like in the coaches' rooms?
It's been great, especially being the first year coordinator at USC, having the minds of Tyson Helton and Tommy Robinson and Neil Callaway and John Baxter. John Baxter is coaching our tight ends, and in my opinion, the best special teams coordinator in the country, and also a really, really good tight ends coach. And we all put our ideas together, and at the end of the day, we want to see how we can give our offense the best chance to move the ball and help us win football games. And we felt like we put something together with all ideas in mind that people will be proud, and our players will fit them and give us an opportunity to win.
Coach, we sort of know what to expect at certain positions. Like you mentioned, the running backs returning, receivers returning. But the interesting dynamics is this offensive line. I mean, they were, we've always touted them as being very young and very talented. They really took a huge step forward last year in terms of, like you said earlier, dominating, especially in the second half of games. How good can this offensive line be, and how much will you lean on them this year to possibly be the strength of the offense, as opposed to before we just thought that they were just sort of, just sort of fitting in. Now they sort of have to carry things.
No question, and they're all experienced. Having Damian Mama, Vianney, Zach Banner returning, Tova Lobanon, they're all experienced. Chris Brown had an opportunity to play a lot last season, getting great reps. Shumley Doga. I mean, we feel like we have a great situation up front, and championships are won in the trenches. And we're going to have to lean on those guys, whether you're throwing the ball 40 times or running the ball 40 times. It all starts up front, and that's where our mentality is going to be. That's where we're going to hang our hat, and those guys know it. It is not a secret, and they want it. And Coach Callaway has done a great job of coming in and putting his stamp on the offensive line, his mentality, and it's been quite different for them, and they like it. And I look forward to seeing how good we can be up front.
I believe 9 returning offensive linemen have started at least one game at USC. So a nice luxury there for the offensive coordinator, T. Martin, as he takes over the head role in charge of this offense. Coach, we thank you for joining us on your spring break. Go enjoy some family time, and then you'll be back to work next month or so. The spring game obviously ends up at the Coliseum, and everyone can go see that. Practices are open all spring long, too, if you want to come see the Trojans on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Thank you, Coach. When we come back, JJ and I are going to get into USC's rising sport. Lacrosse has really come on and is headed towards national power status. We'll talk to 2 of the players that are really the catalysts in that, and Amanda Johansson and Michaela Michael next on Trojans Live.